Coming At You podcast contains adult themes and language. It's not intended for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Now, here's your hosts, Kevin and Chris, with Todd, who has only one job.
And we're back. Episode 206. I'm Christopher Scott, joined by my good friend Bullet, a.k.a. Kevin Honeycutt, and Tata Toddy.
Hello, hello.
And we're back. Again, episode 206.
It feels like we've been away for a while.
It feels like we've been away because we had a little bit of a holiday last week, and we did 2 episodes at once the week prior, which was a first for us.
Yeah, I was dragging ass big time on the
Yeah,
second
you're
one.
an ass dragger. Who was the show brought to us by? Philly Comedy Club. Friday night, they have shows at 7:30 and 9:30. This week they have
Who they got?
Brian McDaniel from TMZ, Young and the Restless, and The Talk. Feature Missy, I'm going to butcher her name here. Can you say that name?
Grinkowitz?
Yeah. Grinkowitz? Missy Grinkowitz?
Grinkowitz? Yeah.
Grinkowitz.
Missy Grinkowitz.
And special guest Adam Glynn. If you use the Coming At You podcast code, CAY POD,
Get discount tickets.
you will be able to get discount tickets. Shows start at 7:30 and 9:30 every Friday. Go down there and check them out. Also brought to us by Netflix.
I just finished The Punisher. Holy shit.
I started one episode, barely made it through. I had to stop.
What?
I got interrupted.
Okay.
I got interrupted. Also brought to us by WWE Network.
Yeah. I'm WWE Network.
Ditcher.
Smartest way to listen to radio, on or off of radio. They just redesigned their player.
What do you mean, their player?
They did all these updates on the app. They redesigned the player for the podcast. That was.
I'm having difficulty with it.
Yeah,
I'm not as comfortable. Like skipping ahead, you can't skip the commercials.
No, well,
Or you can do it in like 30-second increments.
they're making sure that they want to sell that that premium plan.
I listened to Joe Rogan's MMA hour the other day.
Yeah.
12 minutes in of advertising before it even started.
Jesus.
And I just skip.
He's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
He's getting, like, great
Good.
show, but it's deep, like, how far you got to skip.
he's
Yeah, but
getting
5
good
Minutes,
money.
isn't it? On it, which is his own company.
I think he owns it, doesn't he?
Yeah, you can't blame him. Also brought to us by Resp Tattoo.
He's kind of MIA.
He's been missing in action.
He has been missing in action.
You know, he should be calling us more often to hang out, other than not calling us.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's down at Keswick Tattoo. You can hit him up down there. Also brought to us by Extreme Cage Combat, February 3rd. Philadelphia Armory. Bullet and I will be there to announce the fights.
I'm excited about it.
Maybe Tata Toddy will come and just sit by our side that day for moral support. He has yet to show up to a fight yet. We've been doing that probably 2-3 years now, right?
we got to get our own drinks.
Yeah, he wants to be part of the team, but he doesn't want
You
to.
gotta get-
I gotta hold my own dick when I piss. He doesn't want to be part of the team. Also brought to us by Dads and Cargo Shorts.
Love that guy.
Yeah, so let's do a little shot of my grandpop's 44-year-old Crown Royal. Get the show started.
Chindong.
He doesn't. He does have himself on camera. So
Fucking
Oh,
disgraceful.
it's getting smoother.
it is.
Disgraceful.
I think as we're getting closer to the bottom of the bottle, it's getting a little rougher.
You're so it's disgraceful. It's honestly disgraceful.
You know what? Wilson had the same problem. So do not. You were surprised when he started.
He's not American.
And he fights in a cage.
I got nothing.
Yeah. He's beating people up for a living. He can make that face.
Yeah, like I ain't gonna make fun of that little chocolate Smurf for anything.
That
He'll whoop my ass.
That drink just made you tap.
I'm just watching it now.
So-
Disgusting.
So
Does everybody hear us out there? Whoever is listening, if there's anybody.
there's 2
listening.
watching right now. We just started, but there'll be more. So
Do you want me to check it?
Don't worry about it. Just somebody will send a message. But talking about Joe Rogan's on it. I started taking the Alpha Brain this week. Fantastic. Swear to God.
I'm a little skeptical.
I tried to give you some before. The only thing that I realized I was making an error.
Okay.
You're supposed to take. You can't take more than 3 in a day.
Okay.
I took 2 in the morning. Felt fantastic the whole day. Felt like super focused, super zoned in.
What's the active ingredient?
It's magic. I don't know. I didn't even read it. Who cares?
You just took a pill, didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
You know what? I trust Joe Rogan.
I trust Joe. Right? What are you looking over there for? You already snatched that up.
Oh, the boner pill?
Yeah.
Well, I know what's in that.
What's in it? What's the main ingredient?
Fun.
What's the main ingredient in Viagra?
Different kind of magic.
Todd, be my fact checker here. He's gonna give me a hard time for taking Alpha Brain, but he's taking something that makes his dick hard.
Not every day.
No, not every day, just for fun.
Yeah, just for fun.
But you don't know the active ingredient in it.
Yes, I do.
Fun.
Uh-huh.
What's the active ingredient?
Boner. Fascia.
All right, so you don't know what it is, but I started taking it super focused, like throughout the day, just kind of like just.
Do you know how they came up with Viagra? It was accidental. They were looking
Yeah.
for heart rate. They were looking for heart pressure medicine, and all these old dudes were popping like
That's how they find half this shit.
glorious fucking boners.
Half the time they're making something for something else,
Yeah,
and it works out.
What's the one for smoking? Xantax?
Shantrex.
Yeah, that was Wellbutrin, which was used at loony places.
Yeah.
Not that that's the correct word.
Right. You know the politically correct word for loony places. So anyway, taking the Alpha Brain this week, right?
What does it make you more alert?
It just makes me more kind of zoned in on stuff, right? And when I'm thinking and I'm talking, like my brain's not as scattered. Normally I'm bing 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 like all inside my head. Now
Here we go.
Now it's kind of focused. So
How much is a bottle of this?
it's like $50.
And how long does that last you?
A month. You don't have to take it every day. You just take it when you feel like you need some extra focus.
Can you take it with food?
Yes, but you got to eat it before food. But
No,
here,
what I'm saying is, if you can take only 3 a day, you take one with breakfast, take one with lunch, take one with dinner.
well, it
Is
says
it something
on the
like that, or is it something like, hey, I need to focus, I should take this, or is it something where you want to kind of
I thought
you can spread them out
stabilize your
through the day.
levels.
You can spread them out through the
I
day.
thought you were looking for excuses why to eat. I got to eat. I got to take my Alpha Brain.
What's up with this guy?
Is this guy trying to attack me?
I'm on camera. I'm on camera.
He's
all
got a
the
big
time.
hoagie in his hand. I'm like, I got to take my Alpha Brain. so I made.
Blue Meanie over
Hold
here
on,
wants
so
to fuck with me.
It says don't take more than 3 in a day.
Yeah.
So I was taking 2 in the morning when I woke up, felt super focused, and then I was taking one. It said if you want to have like lucid dreams, like good dreams, take one like 4 or 5 hours before bed, right? So I've taken it a few times. Haven't slept all fucking week. Not because my body's asleep.
I'm looking this up. I want to look
My
this
body's
up.
asleep, but my brain is just fucking going.
I
swear to God, I've taken some shit in my day. Don't get me wrong here.
I
No, I'm
don't know.
not gonna
I'm
listen.
just
When you weren't
skeptical.
on Alpha Brain, this was all set up before.
Turn that towards you a little bit.
I got it. Before you took Alpha Brain, this would all be set up before I got here. But all of a sudden, you're on Alpha Brain and not a thing set up.
Yeah, I was
today when I got
focused on me.
So it just gets you more focused. You're in the
Yes.
moment. You're saying.
And I've had a bunch of people chime in and say that they have taken it and said they fucking love it as well.
Who?
Just friends from Facebook.
Have you trained on it?
I have. I'm trying some funky shit when I'm rolling.
Have you caught Popo?
No.
I know that
He must be drinking a whole bottle before or eating a whole bottle before class.
I
And
know-
speaking of Popo, real quick, while we're on the subject, Saturday I get my black belt, right, in jiu-jitsu.
They told you already?
Yeah.
It's not a surprise.
No, but he's been sending me videos of people getting tased during the Brazil promotions. And then he put out a video, or he put out a picture today of a taser he just got for Saturday.
All right, so
And so I sent him a thank you, like a picture of a cake that said sorry for tasing you. Like
Is it just one
It's
of the
the-
handheld ones?
it's a handheld one.
Do you want me to run in front of you?
No, I'm gonna soak my body with water. So, and I got, and this is what I think's supposed to happen. I'm supposed to roll with him and Tiago at the same time, and one of them might have a taser. So I'm gonna urinate all over myself, cover myself in fluid. So when I get tased, I'm gonna grab some other skin,
Oh, I want to.
and they're gonna take it with me as well.
Break your goddamn arm for doing that. You scared the shit out of me when I was reading this shit.
What's the active ingredient? What are you reading for reviews?
They're talking about the ingredients. So it's vitamin B6, L-tyrosine, L-thurine, oat straw extract. Blah blah
you
blah.
don't know anything about any of those.
Blah blah blah. Vinpocetine is a neurovasculator that increases blood flow in the brain, thus increasing cognition.
Oh shit!
It
smart
boasts
pill.
other nootropic effects. It's a neuro antioxidant. See, a lot of this stuff seems like bro science to me, though.
Dude, just try it instead of complaining.
Memory improvement,
Yeah, I haven't forgot anything all day.
mood enhancement, sleep and dream
Todd
clarity.
could use it. He asked us what episode it was, and then 2 seconds later, he asked us the same thing again.
Are we live?
All natural ingredients.
All natural.
All right, I like this. The effects
All
last
natural.
6 to 8 hours.
Yes.
Surprisingly good for working out.
Yes.
Improve mood.
Yes.
You shoot ropes.
Dude, if that thing said shoot ropes, I'd be fucking just pounding this thing.
Fucking $50 a day.
I'm but I've been taking it for a few days and found it to be fantastic. So I highly recommend it.
You know what? I think
you should try it.
Now, I know that on it, I don't want to do an ad for them or nothing, but I know that they do packs like
Like the things at 7-Eleven?
No. They do like
5-hour energy pills.
No. They do like packs of stuff like Alpha Brain and
like a
this
kit.
and this and this. Yeah. And as anybody that knows me knows, at least 80% more likely to buy something if it's in a kit, a pack, or a set. Seriously.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So why don't you buy a kit?
Probably will buy a pack, a kit, or a set.
buy one of those 3 things, and the stuff you don't use, just give it to me.
Yeah.
But I've tried it. It works great all week. I was actually taking the Alpha Brain when I watched the Jim Carrey thing. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I finally watched it.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
From start to finish?
Yeah.
You don't sound like it.
I had a lot of people hit me up that apparently I'm the fucking ambassador of living alone to a lot of these people. So they all were hitting my Facebook page up with these Jim Carrey quotes and
Really?
talked about the movie. Yeah, like apparently,
Like you needed the help? I watched it, and I initially watched it. Like it was on my list. So I saw it on there, and I was just kind of putting it off. And last week, I wanted to take a nap. And usually, if I'm ready to take a nap, I'm going to put something on it I'm not quite sure about. So if I miss it.
I usually crank one out and I go right to bed.
But if I miss whatever I'm watching during my nap, I'm not upset. And so I lay down in my bedroom at like 2:30 in the afternoon, flipped that thing on, 4 o'clock, still watching it, never took my nap. It was fantastic.
Did you watch it on Alpha Brain?
I did watch it on Alpha Brain.
Oh, shit.
So that might be why I wasn't able to sleep. But the thing I found interesting, I love the fact that they had all that background footage, and he fucking never left character, ever.
Yeah, that caused a lot of problems actually on set.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
he was
but
the Tony Clifton character.
Yeah, but it looked like.
No, it caused problems when he was Andy Kaufman because he was under the impression that he had a very antagonistic relationship with Jerry Lawler in real life. And he really didn't. Jerry Lawler still to this day has bad feelings about Jim Carrey because of it.
I wonder if he watches it again. If he watched this.
No, this
still.
was real. Recently, they talked to him about it.
I know, but if he watched this and saw what everybody was going through.
He was trying to stay in character. He was method acting.
But he didn't understand the relationship those two had.
He didn't understand.
They definitely had a relationship.
Yeah, but it wasn't antagonistic. They were working together.
Letterman was the first one, I think, that actually let the cat out of the bag. That whole Lawler hitting him on the Letterman was all staged. Letterman knew about
Well,
it.
it was
before it happened.
it was a repeat of the first time Lawler hit Kaufman in real life. Kaufman was on Letterman. He got cracked in the head by Lawler.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Jim Carrey.
No,
doing it.
Letterman was on and said that
Well, there were problems.
he knew what the gag was. It wasn't
Right,
like
right.
it was like
Well, there were
Nobody
problems
else
on
knew.
set not that they didn't talk about in the movie that Carrey wanted to actually take a pile driver, and he said, "Yo, when they cut."
that was in it.
Oh, that was. I didn't.
Into
I
the
don't
mic,
remember it.
please.
Yeah,
I'm
when
getting
they.
beer.
He's so confused over there.
But I don't know. I like Jim Carrey. I think he's in a good place.
But the parts
You know?
I liked about it, and it wasn't the stuff about the Andy Kaufman stuff. It was the side stuff where he started talking about other stuff in life.
Like his painting and all.
Well, no, I don't think he really talked about the
Didn't talk
painting and
about it
that.
at all.
There's
but
another documentary.
The thing I found interesting was that he as he was the Andy Kaufman character, he also took that as an opportunity to help heal some of the people that were in Kaufman's life, like the family.
Yeah.
Right? He stayed in character, and you saw the sister, like there was some healing there. There was a daughter who had never met Andy, who got put up for adoption when she was a kid. She wound up showing up, and he sat in the trailer with her
No, I think no.
for like
that-
2 hours. No, that's exactly what happened.
No, he actually no. The story was that she met Andy. She really met him.
She did not meet Andy. She met Jim Carrey,
I'm pretty sure.
and
I'll
she
I'm not-
sat down
I'm not
with.
gonna fact check.
I'm the one who fucking told you about it. I fucking watched it.
So did I.
Yeah, and you obviously didn't comprehend what you were watching. So Jim Carrey sat in the trailer with the girl, and he talks about it, and you see him crying. He's like, "This was a heavy moment for me." Why would it be heavy for Jim Carrey if Andy did it? Because he was in character the whole time.
Listen, agree to disagree.
No, you don't have to agree to disagree. You're just wrong on this one.
Agree
Oh,
to
that's-
disagree.
So anyway,
The Perry brothers are going at it right
no,
here.
he tries to fact check without actually knowing the facts when he fact checks.
I finished it up today.
Okay, well, you didn't comprehend any of it apparently. There's a difference between watching and comprehending.
I had,
Wow.
no, I had
So-
no idea his name was Dandy.
So anyway, so he.
Wow.
Let me finish my story before Captain fucking Field Check over there fucking interrupted me. So, the girl shows up at the trailer.
Holy
Alpha brain.
and-
Alpha brain.
and
I know.
No, it's
Side effects are you get very irritable.
no. We talked about this before. He's Captain Speed Bump. He'll, what's your favorite color? Blue. Like in the middle of like.
My cognition is
nowhere.
at a superhuman level right now. You
So-
don't dare argue with me.
And now look at him. He's on his phone checking. So
I'm not.
so she sat in the trailer with Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey was the Andy Kaufman character for about 2 hours, and he said there was some healing, and it was one of the most powerful moments in his life. But the part that really struck me during the movie was the part where he was talking about his father. And do you understand this part, Ty?
Mm-hmm.
And his father, so his father started having kids, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, right? You have these dreams for yourself when you're younger, and you have these goals, and you never actually chase them, but then you start having kids, and then there's no chance of chasing them. And what it was Jim Carrey. He was or his dad was the life of the party. He was a real good saxophonist or whatever
He was a
instrument.
good musician.
He was a great musician, and he gave all of it up to be a parent and took a job as an accountant. And 20 years later, his dad's doing this job that he fucking hates for like 20 years, and his dad loses his job, and Jim Carrey and them are homeless.
Yeah.
And Jim Carrey made this statement. He's like, he was just kind of devastated when he was talking about his father. Excuse me. And it was basically, he watched his dad fail at something he didn't even want to do, that he did to support his family. And in reality, he wished he would have chased the dream that he wanted and failed at that instead.
Yeah, he resented where he was since all that, and I lost my job anyway. Like,
Yeah, it's tough. Like, that's got to be mental, and I'm sure people go through that on a daily basis on, like, maybe a smaller degree. But, I mean, there's stuff all the time where you can look back and you're like, man, I should have done this, should have done that. And I hope when my kids get older, I just impart on them that they should just chase whatever they want.
Don't be like your old man and miserable.
Yeah, but no, like, don't be afraid to take the chances and chase whatever thing you want to chase while you can.
Let me give you a perfect example of a person that we know.
His name Bullet.
No,
Is it Tulib?
no.
That's Bullet back.
is it?
Yeah, a
Is it
perfect example of that
Bullet?
would be Wilson. He moved here. He didn't know a lick of English. Moved to a country that he'd never been to, and fucking, I'm gonna be a UFC fighter. There he is. He's doing it. So we know people that do that shit.
Yeah, we know people that have taken chances and just said,
And
hey,
that's
fuck
actually Jim Carrey. I mean, he was up in Canada, and he knew that the only way to make it is to come down
it. Got to
here.
move to the United States.
and-
Well, it's not that simple. I mean, he was already doing clubs and all, but then he did take the gamble. And
Right,
said,
but
"Fuck it, I'm
I
gonna
mean,
move to the States."
you look at people like our friend Russ from Philly Comedy Club, right? He's got a family, and he's pumping along working his comedy club thing, and that's a lot of work to get that going.
Yeah,
and
it
he's
is.
But-
tried a bunch of things prior to being here.
Yeah, and that's his dream, and I love the fact that this dude's chasing his dream. You know?
Yeah, I'm chasing mine. I always wanted to do a podcast in a basement, living the dream.
This is a
Studio.
studio. But I find that I found the documentary interesting, and it was just a kind of a reality check at certain points.
Are we just gonna all leave our lives and just
No,
move west and go into the radio?
I don't think it's necessarily that. Like, you would do that in a second, right? Like, if somebody came and said, "Hey, I want you two guys to go do this," because we know Todd's not going to give up what he's doing,
Yeah.
right?
Correct, but I'm gonna support you guys in any way possible I can.
You know what? We do our show at night. Todd still shows up, doesn't get paid, does the camera work, does everything else, and he's supporting us.
I would do it.
All right.
Right,
We're
but-
moving out west.
But if somebody came to me and said, "Hey, you know what? Here's an opportunity for you. You can make the exact same money you're making now, or slightly less," I would drop everything in a second.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, just to chase my dream. And I wish I would have figured out my dreams when I was younger. Todd, can you turn that light back this way a little bit? The one that you knocked around, right above you. Just turn the angle. It's gonna rotate.
It's the kind of stuff that we don't see every day here. Look at that.
Hey, there you go.
That's producing.
There you go. There you go.
Wow.
Have you been watching the news at all?
I try not to
Like,
because it's so fucking depressing.
We've talked about some of these sexual allegations for the last few weeks.
It's like an epidemic, man.
It's just not stopping. Like
Matt
every
Lauer.
every other day.
Matt
America's
Lauer-
golden boy.
Matt Lauer had a fucking secret button under his desk
to lock his
to
office.
lock his office so he could fucking show his cock and balls
No,
to the chicks.
no.
and-
Do you think that's what it was for? I guarantee it was so that he didn't have to get up to lock his door.
But why is this door locked?
Because I guess when you're done a show, like the last thing you want is everybody coming in to
Interrupt you?
yeah,
When you got your dick out?
maybe. That's a good point.
Come on, man. He's a creepy motherfucker.
I mean, if you're in your office and you're relaxing, right? You're not sitting at your desk. Right? So you got a little, supposedly the button's under the desk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's probably got a couch in the room, too.
That's some creepy ass shit.
That's some creepy ass shit.
The problem I have
That's
is,
some
is
creepy
that
ass shit.
is that there's levels to this shit. Like Louis C.K. asked chicks if he could whip his dick out. Some chicks found it funny, and some of the chicks even went out to dinner with him afterwards. Like, yeah, that's fucked up, but that's not the same as raping chicks like fucking Weinstein.
And I will say that
Some other
the
shit.
years that he was doing it, it wasn't like he was Louis C.K. now, where he had that much power.
Well, I mean, it's odd, fucked up behavior. Is it
Well,
like something that
I mean,
it like I don't know.
everything I read about Matt Lauer was he just had some, like, inappropriateness about him. Right?
No, I heard assault. I heard that he assaulted chicks.
Yeah,
Really? I heard Charlie Rose assaulted some chicks, like jamming his hand down a chick's pants while she was crying.
Well, you got to think about it. Matt Lauer, everybody knows who Matt Lauer is. So he can't just go out in public and do this shit. So he has to prey upon bitches that are in the workplace that he has power over, because if they report it, fuck you, you're going to get fired. He can't go and do that shit in public because, holy shit, Matt Lauer touched my titties. But if he does that to some chick in the office, it's like, Matt Lauer touched my titties. Well, you better shut the fuck up
But
if you want a future here.
Charlie Rose
It
apparently
makes perfect sense.
His apology was, you know what? I have a new appreciation for ladies, and I'm sorry about what may have been misunderstood, and the fact that he thought that they were all giving him signals to go ahead and jam his hand down somebody's pants while she's in the middle of an interview. Like, that's fucked up.
that is messed up.
Who
Yeah.
do you think the next one's going to be?
Well, I didn't think it was gonna be Matt Lauer.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
neither. Matt Lauer's a freak.
Did you see what Geraldo Rivera wrote?
Yeah,
Right,
Geraldo
right,
Rivera.
right, right.
His initial comment I thought was pretty good, and
He
then he
was-
got a lot of crap, and
Yeah.
he kind
Did
of
he-
backed up.
Yeah.
He goes, a
Don't
jerk.
give me the second part. Just give me the first part
He
first.
goes, a jerk is a jerk in dating. Sexual harassment should be confined to situations where superior imposes himself on subordinates who feels unable to complain because of power, of perp or feared consequences to victims' employment. Shouldn't be used to get even with a boss or a hated ex.
I feel like Geraldo Rivera is probably one of the guys that would have done all
He's
this.
next. He's next.
Yeah, he definitely
Like, the
is.
fact that he's making that statement just puts him on the list. Like, if you're a star right now, you shut the fuck up. Put your head in the fucking ground and you just sit
think
and don't
essentially-
fucking say
No, you don't say
shit.
shit.
I think he's essentially just saying, hey, you know what? There's people that are assholes, and you know that's not that they're.
The
doing
only thing that's
anything-
very
they're an
dangerous.
asshole.
The only thing that's very dangerous is that it seems to be a trial by media.
yes.
That's the problem.
But I also read a thing earlier. There's a guy, Phil DeFranco, who has like a YouTube thing, and I watched his video earlier, and he was kind of talking about it, and he was talking about a survey.
Russell Simmons, your brother just pointed that out.
Russell Simmons too?
Russell
Not
Simmons,
Russ.
yes.
Yeah, HBO just cut ties with him.
And didn't they
What?
just start up the Def Comedy Jam again?
Yeah, well, it's
Oh,
gone.
Shit. What did Russ do?
He was going after models or something.
Can you blame him?
Here's a news flash: guys in power are gonna try to fucking be inappropriate.
Let's
The
be
end.
honest. Let's be honest.
That's what's-
A guy who's holding a light at those show is doing the same thing Russell Simmons is doing. He's just not Russell Simmons.
Exactly.
Have there been any guys that came out and said, like, a woman did this to me?
Franken tried to do the opposite from the woman who was giving him grief, because he was showing pictures of her doing some stuff, grabbing butts and.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's certainly a play for
I don't think it's really all that.
attention with a lot of
I
this
see.
stuff.
I think people are trying to turn it into other stuff too. Like, what, you can't even like flirt with a chick? I think you can flirt with a chick, and if she's like, "No, I'm not interested." Oh, okay, cool. Have a good day.
the one thing I was starting to get into is that guy Phil DeFranco was talking about a survey, right? And on the survey, they pulled different age groups,
Okay.
right? So the older age groups, they were kind of a little bit more lenient because they grew up in a time where it was more lenient. And then the next ones, like 45 to 30, were kind of like, some of this is inappropriate, some of this is appropriate, some of it's just people being friendly.
Yeah.
And then the group that was like 25 and under, like just complimenting somebody on their dress
Yeah.
was inappropriate.
Yeah. Well, fuck that.
Right. That was sexual harassment.
If you're
saying,
under-
hey, you look nice in that.
If you're under the age of 30, shut the fuck up. You don't have an opinion on anything that matters.
And what's funny is if you actually work in like a corporate environment, it's pretty clear, the rules. I mean, if somebody tells you they're offended, that's when you stop. But
No, that's what I'm saying.
If
If
you're
you-
watching an episode of the Seinfeld and that
But they may have given you a signal before that said, oh, you know what, this might be an okay to go through with it.
See,
you're
this is why everybody teases me. Everybody,
That's why he works by himself. all
everybody
day.
teases me. This is why I live alone. This is why I work alone. This is why I avoid people. This is why I don't fucking interact with people as much as I can because of this and other reasons. So there you go.
you saw this coming down the line. A long
I saw
time
it.
ago.
I saw it. And you know what? You guys always make fun of me and shit. You always go like, oh,
Is this why you don't talk to the food guy that
well,
delivers your shit?
no, you're like, oh, you need to try something new. You need to try different things. All right. And I'm here to say that, you know what? I am going to do so. I did
Well,
something
here,
new.
hold on a sec.
I did something new.
There's a what was new?
Okay. I no longer am getting Amazon fresh to deliver groceries to my house.
What?
That's right.
What did you do? Did you go food shopping?
No, I got Peapod to deliver to my house now.
But
So there you go.
are you afraid to shop at the supermarket because the girl might think you're sexually harassing her as you're ordering your food and you're
I bet he's still
massaging your cantaloupes?
I bet he's still ordering from Amazon because he doesn't want the delivery guy to think that
He's
it's
cheating.
him.
No.
So it's
They sent me a letter saying that their service area changed, so they're going to
Oh,
stop.
so this isn't a forced change. This is not something that you chose.
Sure it is. I had the choice to either go food shopping or have Peapod do it, and Peapod's going to be at my house tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
But you know that there's a second option. Like it wasn't like, oh, okay, you know what, I'm done with Amazon. I'm going to pick Peapod.
Well,
Right?
they were
you were forced to make this decision.
Doesn't matter. That's when most productive change happens.
What other options were out on the table? What's that blue apron?
Giant delivers.
That's who Peapod is.
Okay.
Oh, well, why didn't you just
Well,
say
you
giant?
just ruined that for me. You just like unmasked like Rey Mysterio right there.
You know, it was really cool though, man. I was very impressed with their service so far.
What did you order for tomorrow's delivery?
I've got a meal kit coming.
Okay, because it's a kit.
Because it's a
set,
kit or a set.
No, seriously, that's why.
You're like a half a hair behind me.
I made
That's
like
because I'm on
I made
focus.
I made like a really good steak dinner the other night, and then I've got a case of water, which I'd have to fucking schlep around like a plebe.
Why don't you get one of those 5-gallon jobbies?
Nah. And then
Nah.
Because it doesn't come in a
some
set.
fresh
Yeah.
produce.
What if you got a set of 5-gallon jugs?
Nah. Produce.
What kind of produce? I just like the way you say it.
produce.
I got produce.
Clementine oranges, because my son likes those.
That comes in a-
Oh,
that
Cinnamon
comes in a
Jr.
case?
likes his produce.
And that comes in
Yeah.
a case, Chris.
Yeah.
Bananas. He likes bananas too.
Would you call that a set?
That's a set. What do you call a bunch of bananas?
A bunch.
A bunch, actually.
All right, there you go. We say you buy stuff in bunches as well.
Yeah, they got a really good Whole Foods department too. So I got this really good.
Do you know all
bread.
this stuff is like right down the street from you?
Yeah, but
What's it cost to get it delivered?
nothing for the first 60 days, free delivery. Ching, ching.
So okay, so have you done any cost comparisons on?
Yeah,
like,
actually I have, and I'm going to give you a reason why you should buy your groceries online. Most people don't go shopping and walk around the food store with a calculator. They find out what the total is once it's all rung up. Whereas I have the total all in front of me and go, oh, goddamn, that's a little much. Let me start deleting stuff before I hit
I
checkout.
like where you're going with that.
You know, he's got me there.
Yeah.
What did you take off the list? Because clearly there was some stuff on the list because you're talking about it
Yeah.
that you hit a certain dollar amount that you were looking for, and you're like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm taking this off the list.
KY off.
Extra small condoms off.
No. I don't believe in condoms.
Dick cream
They're for
off.
amateurs. No.
I can deal with this fungus for one more day.
Nipple shaver off.
True. Yeah, what else am I thinking?
Rectum expander off.
No, I already got 2 of those in a set. I was very pleased though with their
Ball cupper off.
cock rings.
Off.
I got a kit, a cock ring kit. No, I like that the one thing I like about them that Amazon used to come in these really big goddamn totes, which are really cool. But
They let you keep the tote?
yeah,
What do you do with the tote?
well, they take up goddamn space. But the other thing is they'd be packed with these ice packs or dry ice. And fuck, I gotta do something with them. This is all like in bags, just regular
You
old
just
bags.
throw it in the sink and,
Oh.
and pour water on it and
And
let all the
that's-
smoke fill up the room?
And
Yeah.
that's because it's coming right from down the street.
Yeah, but I liked it. So they're gonna come tomorrow. I'm excited about that.
Will
many-
you answer the door?
I have to, unfortunately.
You have to pay the guy in cash?
No, I got to sign for it.
Oh.
Yeah, I
shit.
wasn't happy about
What's
that.
on the list for tomorrow?
Does a body fit in those old Amazon bags?
If you chop it up,
Tote.
produce, some produce,
Like what produce is kind of a vague statement.
And I like how he says it though.
it's
some
cl-
diet pop, some diet pop.
Yeah, you got clementines, bananas, any strawberries?
No, blueberries. I like blueberries.
Okay.
Organic blueberries.
Organic blueberries. Did
Yeah.
you get any cereal?
No, I
Did you
already
get any
have
eggs?
No, I got that the last time.
Did you get pecan?
I don't like nuts.
Pecan.
What's that?
Bacon.
No, not those. Oh, bacon. Yeah, I did get a refill of bacon.
What other meats did you get?
Are you still eating good?
No, because I'm hurting.
I'm listening to this menu and
I'm hurting bad. No,
Is there Doritos on the menu?
No.
What's the worst thing on the list?
The Vice.
probably bacon.
Really? That's not
Yeah.
too bad.
Yeah.
I went to a party once and that was the appetizer. Just bacon in a
Cooked
big
bacon.
fucking bin.
You know you're at a fucking party when
when we were at my aunt's house on Thanksgiving. Like my mom, like her.
What kind of appetizers do you
It is
think
the
they
one-
have at like
it is
sex
the-
clubs?
It is her
You know,
one
like how they
thing.
say they've got like food and shit, like hors d'oeuvres.
The all-you-can-eat buffet.
Like, what do you think like the hors d'oeuvres are at like a Sinners and Saints?
It's gotta
or, like,
be
a
fucking like
Pigs in a blanket.
scrimp,
You would think, right?
Scrimp.
some scrimp,
Scrimp.
Ooh, right?
pick and peel scrimp.
Like, imagine if like they had like a buffet or like a little fucking like appetizer little thing. Like, what do you think that food menu's like?
I think the Oakford Inn has an fucking all-you-can-eat buffet, like on Thursdays or something like that.
Would you eat there?
No.
Looks like
I'm
you were about to give the
fucking
time.
Psychopath.
Sound like you were.
It's from 1 to 2.
So tell him about.
But we go to
my mom can make one thing.
My mom is not the best cook. She'll invite us over for spaghetti every now and then. I can fucking make spaghetti on my own. I don't need to fucking drive anywhere to eat that shit.
Spaghetti with what?
Just spaghetti,
Undercooked meatballs.
undercooked meatballs or undercooked spaghetti.
Oh, there's nothing worse than undercooked
Yeah,
spaghetti.
it's al dente.
It was cooked. It was cooked in the box.
Yeah, she doesn't even take it out of the box. She just microwaves the box.
She just fucking throws it in.
So
Is this cellophane?
her
What
one
the fuck?
thing that she makes for every year is a you're like the fucking guy at the movie theater who packed his own
Crawled in
snack.
the reinforcements.
So she makes this chicken livers wrapped in bacon,
Chicken livers.
and I fucking
Sounds horrible.
hate liver,
Love it.
but I love bacon. So I eat these chicken livers, and I'll eat like 40 of them every time.
They're so good.
But this year they weren't even hot. Like there was just something about them this year. They didn't taste right.
And you know what? Well, here's the thing. You put them out. And if you would have told me that somebody's bringing chicken livers wrapped in bacon, everybody in that's there eats them.
Yes.
I mean, it's insane.
Actually, Mackenzie tried them. She fucking hated them.
How did she hate them?
She didn't like them. And I told her, I'm like, that's my mom's specialty.
How's she doing?
She's doing good.
Yeah, I haven't
It's
seen
been
her in
solid.
forever.
Well, she came up on She came up on.
That'd be funny. I haven't seen her in forever.
Yeah, she came up. She called me Tuesday. She's like, Dad, I'm coming up for Thanksgiving. I'm like, awesome. She gets here Tuesday night, like midnight, hangs out for about 10 minutes, goes to bed, sleeps till about 5 o'clock the next day. Right before she goes to bed, she's like, I broke my iPhone. You got to get me a new iPhone. So the next day I run out and get her a new iPhone. I give her the phone. Todd and I and my sister-in-law Trish, we go out for beers, so I don't really get to see her much. I see her during Thanksgiving. Meantime, she's hanging out with Colin and her cousin Shannon. As soon as dinner's done, she's like, oh, I'm out of here. I'm like, you just came for your phone. She's like, no.
That's exactly what she did.
She's like, I just missed you so much. I'm like, you're so full of shit.
Fucking,
and she just started laughing.
fucking ass.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, we love you, Kens.
What's the deal with net neutrality? I've been hearing a lot about that lately.
All right, so here's the thing.
Give me the poor man, or not the poor man's version, but the Cliff Notes.
Basically,
on
what
it
happens is,
or for
okay,
dummies.
right now the internet is wide open and it's free.
It's like
And
a wild, wild west.
And if he starts going down one way, I'll go the other. So keep going.
What do you mean you're going to go the other?
Well, there's two sides to net neutrality.
No, there isn't.
No,
Yeah, there
there's
is.
one
No,
side.
there
I
really
know,
isn't.
I get it. You're an IT guy.
There really isn't. There's only one. Is that
And now that he's on
basically-
camera, he's really trying
Yeah.
to take over the show.
Yeah, fucking Blue Mini over
He's
here
gonna
wants
have
to
he's gonna
fucking.
have to start the podcast
You guys are going to be
on
the,
his own.
You guys are going to be the little thing.
Here's the thing with net neutrality.
And don't interrupt over there yet.
If
I
the,
will give you
if
the
the
signal.
FCC votes to end net neutrality, you will see.
What is net neutrality?
Net
for
neutrality
starters?
basically is that they're not going to throttle your website or your internet depending upon what. Basically,
The way I understand it, can I just say real fast?
Sure.
So if you are a cable company and you handle the cable for an area, right?
Mhm.
If that cable company has an agreement with Netflix, they're going to turn up the speed on whoever they have the agreements with,
Well,
and turn it down on the other stuff.
not really.
Kinda?
Kind of. Basically, it's this. If net neutrality ends, this is 100% what you will see. The big corporations, the big internet service providers will tier the internet just like they have tiered cable subscriptions. So,
You're going to be paying $900 a
so
month. for
Chris,
cable.
it's not going to be you have internet service and you have varying tiers of speeds. I have this blast package. I have this extreme package. That's whatever. Whatever you use it for is whatever you use it for. It'll be, oh, you want to have Netflix? Well, you're gonna have to add that to your internet. That's an additional $9. You like Spotify and iTunes Music and Amazon Prime Music? Okay, that's going to be an additional $5.
Will that be
like
the
to
same
stream-
for like on cell phones and stuff too?
No, because they can't. That's LTE. That's data. That's just. Well, maybe they could. I don't know. Maybe.
Right, but I'm saying like if you buy a phone and make that
There's
your
no.
hotspot.
I don't see how there's two sides to it.
What's
the
your
other-
side, Todd?
the
Into
other
the mic,
side-
Todd?
Here we go.
The other side is, and
It sounds like he's going to defend this side though, which I do not like already.
trust me, I'm on Bullet's side, but I'm going to give you the other side. All right, the other side is that a company like Verizon, where all of a sudden now everybody is going somewhere else. For
Yeah,
their
you're
content.
losing your content
So
that people
I
are
need
paying for.
I need to start recouping some of this money. Now that being said, all of a sudden Netflix starts using 4K.
right.
Well, now everybody who has Netflix is throttling my system because they're all on Netflix.
but-
Now, I have to do additional hardware to handle all these people doing that
with no bonus to
with no money coming back in for me. So there is a concept that
So I think Netflix should pay these guys to do the additional.
well, and
Netflix
that's-
already does pay for preferential treatment in networks.
So there is, but someone could come back at you now and
The-
say you got to pay.
the
$5.
bottom
Right.
line,
If
no
it's
matter
an
how
extra $1, I don't care.
no matter how this ends,
It always starts at $1. And
no
that
matter
turns
how
into
this
two.
ends, this will be bad for the consumer. And this is how. And if you want to get conspiratorial, you can go like this. They're not going to come for your
You
guns.
gotta do that with the mustache, like
That's just itching because it's
oh,
in that
but
stage where
you
it's
timed it
itching.
with you got to do this.
They're not going to come for your guns. They're going to come for your ability to get information.
I'm fine. I could go with a little bit less information
well,
now.
if you want, that's kind of what he's going for. If all of a sudden they go, you know what, we don't like this website, they give out the other side's opinion on something like MSNBC.
Yeah,
I can stop you from going to that website while you're on with me.
yeah. There's more censorship.
Correct.
In a
they
way.
they can tailor who you go.
If
and
they
who you
came
don't
out and
go
said,
to.
"Hey, we're gonna prevent you from
Well, they'll never do
coming
that.
at your podcast,"
They'll never do
it'd be
that.
fucking revolution.
Now their take on it is that they're going to have to display the sites that they throttle and things that they throttle back
Right.
on a website.
Comcast.
But let's say there's 1,000 of
But
these
it's going to go from
websites.
the FCC to the FTC, right? So it'll go to the Federal
Trade
Trade Commission instead.
So you could have a page that has 1,000 or 1,000,000 websites, and to find out if the website you want to go to is on that list, that's insane.
Well,
That's why you have search
but
engines.
but the thing is, the other thing of it is
The
that
whole idea is they'll tell you that they're doing it, but you're going to have to go there to find out.
you
if
have
they're
big
Right.
internet service providers saying, "Hey, look, we will never throttle your a lawful web page because it goes against our principles." But then it's like, "But let us do it because we're never going to do it. We're spending lots of money to be able to do it, but we're not going to do
yeah,
it."
they want you to trust
But
them
let
and
us.
say, you know, hey,
all these those IP,
Fuck
VPN stuff?
you.
Yeah.
they could shut them down in 2 seconds.
that's some bullshit.
Right.
And then there goes Bullet's dark web.
So the legal and illegal stuff is essentially that too. That you know what, you're not going to be able to go to any website that they deem illegal.
So we're like, what is
now.
it, China or North Korea where they
A lot
control
of
all that
countries.
shit?
The other
I wouldn't
thing.
mind the haircut thing. Sounds like a great idea.
You know, I wouldn't mind if they restricted the internet and all that shit from kids on their phones under a certain age. Like if they just said, you know what, 18, you got to interact with the whole world until you get to a certain age. Now
So-
you can use the web.
What's funny is we deal with this at work. Is that you're only as good as whoever puts that content out there. If they mark it as adult content,
I'll give you a perfect.
we can filter that out.
I'll give you a
But if we
perfect
don't know
example
it-
of this. It's kind of happening already, and it's been something going on since May. YouTube, for whatever reason, has decided
I
that
heard, yeah.
professional wrestling is offensive content up there with hate crime.
Well, that sounds
and
like a
hate speech.
shoot.
But no, just listen. So you have all these
Could be a gimmick.
companies.
Or
You
work.
have all these companies that were basically relying on, for a certain number of views, YouTube will automatically throw ads up. That's how you
know,
generate.
you're also seeing it for,
revenue.
for guys like I follow a guy abroad in Japan.
Yeah.
Like they've been changing his things a few times lately. And he had a video where he's like, I haven't gotten paid on these last
Yeah.
6 videos that
Be-
had like 500,000 watches each.
because of this. So there was a big petition that basically say it's fucking pro wrestling. It's like it's nothing offensive about it. There may be offensive pro wrestling, but not all pro wrestling is offensive. And you had a company called WCPW in England that had to cancel all these shows, and they were putting out videos of they had a Rey Mysterio versus Alberto Del Patron match that got over 1 million views, and they got $5 in advertising for it. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, you know, these are companies that, especially in this age,
Well, who
right
advertises
now-
on those? Is it something that they
but
can
it's automatic. But basically, it's what happens is
We have advertisers on ours when you turn on a Stitcher. Like there's advertisements before, and on our
Yeah.
YouTube, there's stuff in the middle
but
sometimes.
in this day and age, especially because I'm focused on the pro wrestling side of it, is you need that money for these companies in the internet age. They're never going to be able to go head to head with WWE because of the penetration of the brand and whatnot. But because of the internet, you're able to get these companies. The thing that's going to keep these guys afloat is the advertising money. You know what I mean? Even if they're putting shows out there for free, so a lot of these guys are now, funny enough, they're going over to Twitch. Now, Twitch started as
Just the gaming, right?
literally it's just people would watch you play video games.
Are we
but,
on Twitch?
I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll have
Should
to
we
check.
switch to
You're
Twitch?
right. All right. I like that. But Amazon bought them for millions of dollars. They bought it, and a lot of these pro wrestling companies are now saying, "Hey, look, we're going to throw our content out there. You just donate. If you think you don't want to donate anything,
You
don't."
do like the Patreon.
The patron
Patron
thing.
Yeah, you see a lot of that. We should do that.
We should. But basically, it's like, hey, look, you know what? I support Tommy
So-
Dreamer and House
so-
of Hardcore. I'll put $5 on this.
So how do people prevent the net neutrality?
They have
act
to
from
go.
happening?
They have to go. Basically, harass their congressman.
Like you had some phone numbers posted last
posted
week
on there.
on Facebook.
Another thing is the FCC chairman kidnap his family.
Well, you know what? Let's
Let's not do that.
let's just stop right here. That's a joke for starters. Let's just throw that out there.
Just joking, ladies and gentlemen. That's a big ha ha.
Just kidding. But
Is he Middle Eastern? Maybe kick him out of the country. Build a wall.
but
Trump.
but people need to understand what it is and how it's going to affect them. Like a lot of times people like you got all the people now that they're so upset that Hillary didn't get into power, right? And most of those people didn't even go out and fucking vote. And this is the same thing that's going to
that's the
I'm not talking about the political part. I'm talking about the part where people want to change, but they're not going to take a moment to make the change.
Well, that's because it goes what I have so deftly labeled bumper sticker activism. People only want to be
Trademark.
They only want to be against something as long as it's convenient. Hey, I'm really against this stuff. The people that are so offended about I'll give you a perfect example. The same people that are like, I don't even know why we celebrate a Thanksgiving because it celebrates the slaughter and betrayal of the Native Americans are the same people that'll step over a homeless person on their way to fucking Starbucks to get a grande latte.
Yeah, everybody's going to do it.
Because it's convenient.
But the same thing is and on this one, I mean, you really want to just lean towards one side, and if it doesn't take place and people don't vote for it, it's not going to happen in favor of the homeowner or person.
I just heard something the other day, and I can't remember where I heard it, but it was about.
I probably said it.
No, it was about Democrats and Republicans, and up until Trump, most of the time it's a Democratic president. That's because most of the United States
Can we all agree
kind of votes Democrat.
Can we all just say
no,
the Congress
we can't.
The Congress is mostly Republican because of those 2-year cycles. The Democrats they go out for the big one, but the Republicans
They don't show up.
They show up for those 2-year elections.
For this net neutrality thing, isn't there some sort of vote coming up like December 10th or something
No, it's
like
December
that?
15th.
Right. So what can people do in the meantime?
Write to their congressman. Basically, just call them up. Don't harass them, but just basically say, hey, I support net neutrality. Where do you stand on this? Because you have to make your voice known. Now, if that doesn't work, I think kidnapping the FCC chairman's family is always a viable option.
So
It's all right. He's brown. He's not white. No one's going to get offended.
well, you know what we got going on this weekend?
What's that?
UFC 218.
But another thing. Can we all just agree right now?
No.
Can we all just
No.
agree right here that regardless of your political affiliation,
Right.
regardless of your opinion of his policies or not, Trump's a goddamn embarrassment. Like,
as the guy who is the ambassador for your whole entire country,
retweeting right-wing anti-Muslim videos.
they're actually worried about
Is he really doing the tweeting though?
I have no doubt.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't even care.
And just saying dumb things like, I was actually going to be the person of the year by Time Magazine and I turned it down. He's
That's
such
a pretty good. You throw that one into your list of imitations.
You are fake news. Okay, it's you know what?
You know what?
They
You
were
should have
gonna
just
do it.
left it.
Yeah, you
till-
should have.
And he does this thing with the hand. You know, you're fake news, Chris. Okay, everybody knows you dye your beard. I know it. You know it. Everybody knows it. You're fake.
So UFC
Wrong.
218
Wrong.
is this weekend.
He is such a fucking douche. And don't get me wrong. Look, Hillary Clinton.
Wait, you're the guy who loves Ric Flair.
Woo! Hillary Clinton.
Who's a douche?
Hillary. You watch what
Terrible dad?
Who cares? He ain't my dad. So
He might be.
no.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton's like that band that like I don't mind them, but their fans are such d-bags that I'm glad to see that they broke up. That's Hillary Clinton, and I'm going to say this right now.
Say.
The video of her supporters on election night just realizing that she lost, and these fucking millennials that never, these 5th place medal winning people that never lost in their lives, now reality's cracking them in the face. Watching them break down and just fucking losing shit and crying. I've masturbated to that video about like 20 times already, right?
Is it the tears?
Is that where you finish? That's when you finish?
Yeah, that's the crescendo. But I don't care what your opinion is, like, of Trump's policies or your political affiliation. He's about to incite a war with North Korea on fucking Twitter.
Fuck North Korea.
But they have a missile that could hit D.C.
We got tons of missiles that could hit them.
Yeah, but you do realize that, like, a nuclear war, like, he's very close to starting a 3rd World War on fucking Twitter.
This is a slap contest that they're in right now. And this fucking...
With nuclear weapons. You feel safe with that? You have kids. You really feel safe that you've got the president of the United States.
Would you rather let Hillary be in charge and be bullied by this dude?
Okay.
He's not bullying anybody.
Look.
He's not bullying anybody. He's a fucking pussy.
But the problem is that Trump
Put it away. We don't
No,
need
I want to
that
read you a real tweet.
I don't care.
I want to read you a real tweet from the president of the United.
I would like to hear it.
Okay. This is a
You better do it in the voice.
Better be good.
Okay.
It better be fucking good because you're slowing us down again, speed bump.
Yeah, you know.
I thought I was a speed bump.
both are.
No, well,
You're a bigger speed bump because some of the shit you say has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
I like rainbows.
this is this is a real.
Look, he still hasn't got to it. We're like fucking 2 minutes
So I keep
deep.
going. This is a real.
This is
I'm
just
cherry picking.
Just pick one.
How
Like
about
he can't
UFC?
find.
How about UFC?
Let's talk about UFC 218 because bullets
right,
just
well, I'm
not
looking.
fucking. No, we're done with this.
I'm not done on
It's
anything.
done.
You're done.
I'm turning your mic off. Now you can't even hear him.
You didn't touch my mic. I looked at
So
it.
Chris, we'll start with the preliminaries.
Let's start with the preliminaries, Todd. Look, he's still swiping.
Very pretty girl, Felice Herring.
That's
versus
not her fucking name.
Herrig.
This guy with the
Herrig?
names. He's got one job to read a name.
Herrig.
Yes.
Versus Courtney Casey.
She's got a great ass.
I'm going to go with Felice Herrig.
just because she's got that ass.
Just because he's so goddamn cute.
I don't know these two guys. David Tamur versus Drakkar. Close, but
No, but he sounds like a clone. I love the clone.
Love the clone.
Yeah, so we're going to go with him.
Drakkar. And then we got the Oliveira brothers fighting one after the other.
Did you just say aloe vera? Did you just say
I
aloe vera?
did.
They're both very good for your skin.
You mean Oliveira?
That
Yeah.
sounds exactly like
No.
what I just said.
Aloe Oliveira.
You said aloe vera.
All right.
Jesus Christ, you were
Say it
the
again,
whitest
Todd.
white dude of all time.
Alex Oliveira versus
Ooh.
Yancy Medeiros. I don't know him.
You
I
don't
got-
know who
I'm-
Yancy Medeiros
I'm going
is?
to take Yancey
No.
all day long. There's only so
Yancey.
many Yanceys in the world.
First of all, his
You
name
got to
is
be
Yan-
tough to have a name Yancy.
You better be a bad motherfucker.
Your
to be
boy
named
named
Yancy.
Sue.
Sue.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Speaking, before we get into this 218,
We're already in it.
Is this
We're
the tweet?
in it.
Is this the tweet?
fucking Ben Askren retired undefeated in 1FC. He beat,
Who's the fuck's in 1FC?
but
He also promoted himself to a black belt last week.
I bet you he will whoop your ass.
No.
He's an Olympic wrestler.
He can hold me down.
You know what?
I guarantee
He
he
was,
will whoop your
he
ass.
was able to taser himself.
He would be able to hold me down.
But the thing that he beat Shinya Aoki like in 54 seconds. Remember when Aoki was?
Dude, Aoki was a fucking brute.
And he's getting beat.
And what did he do to Shinya?
He knocked him out in 54 seconds.
Which is a first for Ben Askren.
No,
you know, that's
he
probably his
actually-
first knockout. He should
No.
retire.
no, he was starting to knock people out.
He was starting to
Last
really
couple
come
So,
together.
did he retire as a fighter or he retired
Yeah,
from 1FC?
No, he retired as a fighter. He's going to be an executive with 1FC. He's making good bank. You know what they gave him for a fucking win bonus one time?
$1 million.
A fucking Ferrari. A fucking
That's not too
Ferrari.
fucking bad.
I mean, goddamn.
It was Tom.
And he's
Tom
probably
Selleck's.
something knee deep in Asian pussy over there.
There's just something about Askren I fucking hate. I don't know if it's the hair or the jawline.
He's Scottish. He's very Scottish. He's got to be with that face.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's all Bob Sapp over there. Like they fucking probably love him.
I once saw a Bob Sapp poker machine from Japan.
Can we go to Japan? I would fucking love to go.
Love to go to Japan.
Road trip.
Oh, I think you have to fly.
No, it's a road trip.
It's a long road. Like, what road do you take to get to Japan?
That's all right.
Straight
we'll
through.
we'll
Straight through,
fucking
right?
we'll do a road trip.
How do you
podcast.
drive to Japan?
the land bridge?
I would fucking go to Japan in a fucking second, though.
Let's go.
That's on my list.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
What's one of the reasons?
It's because
I would-
I'd be really tall over
That's
there.
what I'd love that too.
Secondly,
You'd
I'd
be a
be-
monster.
I know.
like,
Godzilla.
but it's always been that's like my dream place to go to.
Really?
Yes.
Do you got a thing for yellow for?
It has nothing to do with the people. I want to walk through the town.
You know why I want to go?
with the bazillion lights, just
You know why I
everything
want to
fucking
go?
electric, glowing, and you got all these little like side places where you can
Well,
eat.
here's a little thing.
Karaoke.
I am making plans right
Fucking
now.
karaoke.
I'm
huh?
making
Karaoke?
I'm
Fucking
making
sing,
plans.
man. What?
Not this year, not this upcoming January, of course, because I can't. But I'm thinking about seriously taking a loan against my 401k and getting tickets for January 4th, 2019, Wrestle
three?
Kingdom.
For three?
Wrestle Kingdom.
In Japan?
Yeah, in Japan.
I'll go with you.
Tokyo
For
Dome.
3? For 3.
but you have to fucking mark out. You gotta be all in.
I have a Wrestle Kingdom fucking
when
suit.
the Ace of the Universe, Hiroshi Tanahashi, comes out, you gotta fucking lose your shit.
I would go.
All right.
I would love to
It's
go
gonna
to
be
Japan.
$5,000. Are you gonna go?
I thought you were taking
You
out
just
your
said you
loan
were
against your
paying for it a
401k.
second ago.
Yeah, for me, ass clown, not you.
Todd asked
And you said
if
yes.
it was for 3, and you said yes.
For 3,
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Well, you said yes.
I
It's
can't
on
hear-
tape.
That's on tape.
Well, whatever.
We know he doesn't
I'm
pay. any of
paying
his
for
debt.
everybody.
That's on tape.
But I would go.
We're going.
I would go. I seriously want to go there, and it's on my list of
I
places.
would love to go there.
That's the number one place I want to go to.
For me, it's Italy. But after watching that show that was on for a little bit with Henry Winkler and
Why would you want to go to
Yes.
Italy?
I think I would love the food, everything about
The
it.
culture and shit.
Yeah.
The artwork and the.
Yeah.
Are you Italian?
We're part Italian.
We're
You know what our
like
you know what our
almost
real
half.
last you know what our real last name is?
I can only guess.
Pizza
My
Antonio.
my grandfather came over. His name was Fioriti Pietri Antonio.
They cut it down to Perry.
Peter Perry.
Yep.
Well, that's what they did on Ellis Island. They were like, "How
Well,
do you pronounce that?" Yeah,
his,
okay.
His problem was that he was having a hard time getting work as a tool and die guy.
Right.
So he changed it to be more French
Nothing
and-
and wrong with that.
and wound up getting. Then he
And-
married
and
a
here we are.
a
An
German one.
Irish German.
Okay.
And then grandmom and grandpop are Irish,
Irish.
so we're probably
Like 2,000% Irish.
yeah.
I'm like
There's a lot of
2000%.
Italian in there though.
I'm like 2,000% Scottish.
But I would love to go
Sounds
there.
sexy.
So who's on the fight card for Saturday?
Oh, and then we got his brother. I'm sure there's
What's his brother's name?
Oliveri,
Charles Oliveri.
What's the first name?
Charles, and he
Is he saying Charles right? It doesn't sound.
Charles.
Say it again.
Charles.
Is he
One
saying
more
it
time?
Charles.
No.
Again?
No.
Charles.
No.
Charles in charge?
Say it again.
Charles.
No.
If
Is he? Why is he fucking butchering that?
Say it again.
Charles.
No, he's not even close.
Dude.
Are you serious?
Is there
Charles.
something wrong
You
with
can't say Charles.
Charles. It's not-
He's not even close. Say it again.
Charles.
No, no, hold on. We're gonna get through this together, Todd. Charles.
Charles.
Are you fucking kidding me? Dude's not
Like-
even close.
Like
Charles.
Charo. Like
Charles.
Charo.
Charles.
Like Charo.
Charles.
You can't say Charles.
He's fighting Paul Feldler.
Who's fighting Paul?
He can't say Feldman. This dude. What's the first guy's name? The first fighter. First name.
Charles.
Are you serious? He can't say Charles.
I'm saying Charles, you asshole. Charles Oliveira versus Paul Feldler.
Oh my God.
Charles. Are you saying Charles?
I'm saying Charles.
Oh my God. He's not even close.
Dude, some people just can't
Holy
handle their
shit!
alcohol.
I've never heard a dude butcher Charles. And
Charles.
who's he
Charles.
fighting? He's so-
Paul?
When you were growing up, was your favorite show Charles in Charge?
No, it's Charles in charge.
Oh my God! He's so, he can't. Why can't he say it?
He's
Can
fighting
you say charge?
charge.
Say
Then I'll
Charles.
say Charles.
Charles.
Oh my
Oh
God, he
God.
fucks it up
You fucking
again.
kidding me?
It's the same
Jesus
fucking-
Christ.
It's the same thing. It's the
It's
same
not.
thing.
You're not even close.
Charles and charge. Charles.
No.
Charge.
Are you serious?
Unbelievable.
Charge. Charles.
Unbelievable.
Charge, Charles.
No.
Yeah.
One more time.
Charles.
Can you say, hey, that wood is charred?
That wood is charred.
Charles.
Charles.
He fucked it up
Dude,
again.
Not even close.
God damn it, he fucked it up again.
You guys are so full of shit. He's fighting Paul Fiddler. Fiddler?
Felder.
Felder?
Fiddler? He's a fiddler now?
Not even close.
God damn it.
I got Charles.
Is it because you're on
Are you-
camera? Are
Who?
you normal? Are
Wait,
you
who
like
do you have?
Charles.
You can't speak
you
English.
so you've got Charles. Are
That's
you
not how I'm saying it.
is it because we're both hearing you say Charles?
Yeah.
So full of shit.
Do you have a speech impediment?
Charles.
Is it because you're on
No.
camera? Are you nervous because of that?
No. I've been on camera all day.
Say Charles.
Charles.
Yeah, but you haven't been saying Charles all
Yeah,
day.
you've been saying Charles.
I'm not saying Charles.
It's like at the
I'm
end.
not
Of,
saying
You
Charles.
just said it right. Okay, now
That's
say
not-
that again.
Hold on. No.
it's like at the end of the video for substitute teacher, and he's like, "You guys are being churlish."
Aaron. All right.
Hey,
so,
Ron, who's the
we
next
got-
one?
Tisha Torres versus Michelle Watterson.
I gotta say something
Oh,
about
Karate Hottie.
Tisha Torres.
I follow Karate Hottie. Who was
On the gram?
on the gram, and she looked Good.
I think, you know what though? I think Torres is the kind of fighter that is going to really be in her face. For Tisha to win this, she's got to be on top of her and suffocate her. She's got to give her no space. You know, she's initially going to have to close that distance and be willing to pay that price because Watterson, as we know, is quite dynamic with her striking, coming from a karate background and whatnot. But she needs space to do that.
And Tisha's small.
She's small and she's powerful. But I think for Tisha to win this, I think the blueprint is suffocate her. Don't give her any room. She's got to make it ugly. She's got to stay on top of her. And, you know, I don't think she's going to get anything done in the first round. I think, and honestly, I think if she doesn't get her by the middle of the second round, I think she's going to be in trouble because Tisha's very muscular.
I'm going with head kick by Karate Hottie.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, she ain't got to fucking put that leg up very high to do it.
She's just got to just lift it up just slightly.
But Tisha has a magnificent hiney, so I'm going to go with Tisha.
You're going all hiney on this one?
Going all hiney.
All right. It's very sexist, and I feel like something's going to come out on you in the next week or two.
Please.
And it'll be Bullet suing himself for molestation.
All right, this is a good fight. Eddie Alcatraz versus Justin Gutierrez.
Who?
I'm sorry, Gutierrez. How do you say his name? Get the Eddie Alvarez. What's Justin? Yeah.
Just let him keep struggling. Keep going.
This is really good.
Who's he fighting?
Justin Gathage.
Again?
Justin Gathage.
I could do this all day.
Spell
Keep
it.
going.
Spell it. Spell it out phonetically.
Gaethje?
G-A-E. Oh, Gaethje. 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 Gaethje.
I could. We should just have a podcast with you, like trying to pronounce words.
Gaethje.
Against Eddie Alvarez?
Eddie Alcatraz.
You know what, man? This fight's got me worried because you know it's going to be violent no matter what.
Justin's coming up and coming.
Justin's up and coming, but you know it's also dangerous for him because he's never. I mean, both guys are hittable. Both guys in their fights have been rocked and have come back. I think Eddie's got more mileage on him, but I think Eddie's in the spot where he's already been to the top. He's been at the top in every promotion he's ever been in. He's been at the top in Dream. He's been at the top in Bellator. He's been at the top in the UFC.
How old is Eddie Alvarez now?
He's in his mid-30s, but I think Eddie's in that spot where he's been there. He's done it. He's been all over the world. He's battle-tested. I think he just wants exciting fights, and I don't think
34.
I don't think losses. Obviously, yeah, wins and losses mean things, but I think Eddie has options, and
he probably doesn't have many more fights on his contract either.
yeah, but what I mean, yeah, and he's got options. He could go to Japan.
Bellator again.
He could go to Bellator. I really think Eddie's gonna catch him. I think Eddie's a little bit more savvy, and I think Eddie has shown more well-rounded skills. It's when he's pushed.
Never bet against Eddie.
But what I'm saying is like he'll bite down on his mouthpiece, whereas my friends across the pond say they're his gum shield. He'll fucking stand his ground and start
bite down on me, gum shield.
He'll start throwing punches, but that's not all that he has. I think he's got a better wrestling base. I think he's more well-rounded. I guarantee no matter what, the fight's going to be exciting. It's not going to be a boring fight, but I'm going to go with Eddie.
I'm going to go with Eddie as well.
I think he's going to win
You sold me.
Second or
Fucking
third round
sold me.
TKO.
That's not. We're still in the preliminaries, right? That's like the main event on the prelims.
That is the second fight of the main card.
Who's the next fight, Todd?
Henry Cejudo.
Oh, we got that one right. I was very
Sergio
surprised.
Pettis.
Okay, now
Wow.
I hate Sergio.
Did I get both of those?
Is it Sergio Pettis?
Yeah.
Sergio.
Fuck Sergio.
I hate.
He doesn't deserve to be
You know
fighting
what, though?
Cejudo.
How much does it suck that Henry's got to fight Sergio?
Hold on.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
Cejudo doesn't, or Pettis doesn't deserve to fight.
Can
Cejudo.
I just say one thing?
His record doesn't even, not even close.
Fuck Cejudo.
Okay.
I know why
Fuck
you're
Pettis
saying.
and
I know why you're
Cejudo.
saying that.
Fuck Cejudo.
Why?
He just his fight with Wilson.
Okay, but
He did. I mean, it's
You
not,
must really not want your black belt, you piece of shit.
on this particular
You
fight,
fucking
who do you
creonch.
have out of the two of them?
You
though?
fucking creonch, bitch.
Do you think that?
You're a creonch. I'm going to call Popo up right now.
Do you think Pettis deserves to be
Yeah.
fighting Cejudo? Based on his record?
Traitor.
based on his record?
Traitor.
Yes or no?
Anybody that punches my friend in the face, if he ever shows up, that bitch ever shows up in Philly, he better show up with a flak jacket because I'm fucking coming with him with hollow points. Fuck Cejudo.
Now, Sergio,
Answer the question.
he's
then.
won 4 in a row.
I hope they
Yeah, but
knock
who's
each
he
other out.
fought? He hasn't fought anybody.
You know what?
Are you sure? Brandon Morano doesn't ring a bell.
No.
John Moraga doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, JMAR, yeah.
Chris.
Wait, what was Brandon's name?
Brandon Marino.
One more time.
One more time. Spell it.
Brandon Marino.
No, it's not the last name. It's the first name.
Brandon.
No.
Why are you? Is it Brendan or Brandon?
It's Brandon.
Why do you?
Okay, you said it differently twice now.
What is
Brandon
it?
or Brendan?
Brandon.
Okay.
Fucking kidding me with this dude with he can't say his fucking name?
Jesus Christ.
Say the name one more
Are
time.
you doing this on purpose? Be honest.
Are you fucking with us?
Oh, hold on. Are you doing this on purpose? Are you fucking with us? Yes. Okay. What an asshole this guy is. All right, it's part of his gimmick.
Say it one more time.
Are you shooting with us or are you working us?
Brandon. No, it's Brandon.
You just said it differently twice.
Are you
I know,
serious,
the
Todd?
first one was a joke. Brandon.
I didn't get the joke.
Brandon.
I did not get the joke.
Brandon.
What's the last name?
Marino.
Say the two names together.
Brandon Marino.
Okay, Christ. First he says Brandon
kidding
Marino, and then he says Brandon Marino.
How do you know how to produce?
Just
or
say B
pronounce
Marino.
Regular names.
Just say B Marino.
B Marino.
We'll do that from now on.
C Marino.
Jesus Christ.
Who do you have in this one? Cejudo or Marino?
Cejudo.
I got Cejudo as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Cejudo, unless Cejudo's coming. I mean, but then again, here's the thing: Cejudo has a history of not making weight. I think Pettis is in a position where he's got nothing to lose. He's fighting number 1 or number 2 in the division. Pettis is outside of the top 10, I have to believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if he wins,
He's got everything to win.
fucking
Or
moves
if
right
he-
up to the
even
top
if
5.
he shows well, he's gonna do. It bumps him
Yeah.
up a little bit.
Sure.
Is that
But
the
I think-
co-main event?
But I think
No.
I think Cejudo is a guy that is going to easily be able to dictate where the fight goes, and I think he's the stronger of the two. I mean, I really think.
Well, if he just does wrestling, can he toss Pettis around? Like
Yeah,
it's
but in
nobody's
his
business?
last fight, dude, he showed really it was coming together, the striking and all. The thing of it is this: if Cejudo doesn't come in, what's going to tell me is, does he come in? Does he make weight? And how does he look at the weigh-ins? If he makes weight easily, and he looks strong at the weigh-ins, he's gonna fucking kill Pettis. Because Pettis really shouldn't even be fighting at 145. He should be fighting 135.
Oh yeah, he's
He
a little
looks-
dude. Are you talking about his older brother?
No, Sergio's the younger.
Yeah, but Sergio, I think, fights at 135.
Well, he shouldn't even be fighting at 135. He looks a little
He's small.
soft.
He's tiny. A little guy.
He looks like a little munchkin. And I would say that to him because fuck him.
Who's the
Alright.
next guy on the card?
Alistair Overeem
Little bitch from Milwaukee. Who the fuck's ever been tough from Milwaukee?
versus Francis Ngannou.
Who?
Francis Ngannou.
Say the first name again.
Francis.
Yeah, I don't know why he's killing the first.
Okay.
He's killing the last
Why
name.
are you saying Francis the one time and then Francis the other?
I'm not saying that.
What's his name?
Clearly you are. Like, I could roll it back for you in real
We're
time.
going to roll it back. Francis Ngannou.
One more time.
The next fight is
Who's he fighting?
Alistair Overeem
Versus
Francis Ngannou.
fucking dude. How do you say the same name
Ju-
over and over again but get it different every time?
Just say Overeem is fighting.
Yeah. Overeem versus who?
Alistair's fighting Francis.
Jesus Christ. How can you fuck Francis up? It's such an easy name.
I'm saying it fine.
Now, Alistair's like 45-13, I think, is his record, with 80% finish rate, versus Ngannou, who's 100% finish rate.
Yeah, but who's he been in there with?
43 and 15, man.
Yeah,
And that's not counting his pro kickboxing record.
38 either by knockout or submission.
Yeah,
Yes.
what's Alistair Overeem's pro kickboxing record?
he's like very high as well.
Yeah. I mean, well, he's a former K1 World Grand Prix champion.
Combined, his record is.
I think he's the last Grand
10.
Prix world champion.
His kickboxing record on here says 10 and 4.
That's probably in K1.
Yeah.
It says kickboxing.
Oh, well, that's K1.
Which one did you want him to look up?
No, but I'm saying that they're probably kicking his K1 because a lot of his Muay Thai fights were probably amateur.
Yeah. But he's got such a high record, like versus Nagano, who's 10-1, and Nagano hasn't really fought.
Here's the other thing about
anybody major
here's
yet.
the thing about Overeem.
Oh, Nagano's scary though.
But Overeem's got just as many submissions with that guillotine.
Yeah,
his fucking guillotine is top level.
It's toy.
He fucking submitted Vitor Belfort.
It's toy
in Pride.
Yeah, you can never bet against Alistair. The only problem with Alistair is you don't know which one you're getting.
He's a little chinny.
He's a little chinny. Sometimes you get Alistair, who's the fucking
Star Destroyer,
Terminator, who's gonna fucking just walk through, or you're gonna get the Alistair who you're not quite sure what you're getting.
Yeah, he was beating the shit out of Bigfoot, right?
Yeah,
and then got caught. He was beating the shit out of Travis Brown too, right?
Yeah.
Travis Brown came
turned
back.
it around.
Well,
it's all of a sudden it's like that one thing.
Alistair Overeem is very similar. In my mind, and I could be totally wrong, and I've got all the respect in the world for Alistair. Alistair is very similar to Mirko Krokop and very similar to Vitor Belfort, and they're very good at being the hammer. They're not very good at being the nail.
They're very Lesnar-ish as well.
Lesnar's another perfect example.
A lot of guys are like that.
They're very good at being the hammer. They suck at being the nail.
You always bring that up. Is that you have
you're the top guy at your gym.
Nobody can beat the shit
Nobody
out of
can
me.
beat yourself, and your pride doesn't let you go into.
What's the matter?
Storage is full on this camera right here.
It's all right. Still taping, bro. It's not the first rodeo, guys.
All right.
But what we talk about sometimes is like if you're that gigantic guy at the gym and nobody can touch you, like
you should be training with people that are making you work.
But how many gigantic people?
Even at a gym where the best people are there, there's still one guy that's going to be the best, right? So your duty to yourself is to put yourself in those bad situations.
It's no different.
But that's what sucks about being a heavyweight. Like you could be Luke Rockhold going against a heavyweight.
It's very hard to find high level
and get better
heavyweights.
Right.
But to be a heavyweight, and there's nobody there that can.
And they're not all going to mampirate to the same place.
But what you do at that point is you bring in specialists. You bring in heavyweight specialists, heavyweight, championship caliber wrestlers, heavyweight championship boxers, heavyweight championship kickboxers, like that. But it's really no different than any other type of artistic endeavor where, if you're the best person in your band, then you want to kind of maybe work with some musicians that are going to challenge you.
Is he trying to?
Can I ask you a question? Are you the best in your band?
Not at all.
Who's the best in your band?
Probably Marty.
Why is he still with you?
Yeah, why is Marty still with you?
Because
Bullet gives him free Dario strings.
No, I think I've always.
What kind of strings?
Diodario.
Say it again.
Those are
Diodario. I say it perfectly.
Those are the strings that I
say.
Diodario.
Those are the
You're
strings.
not even close.
I endorse those strings actually on all of my instruments.
Bullet endorsed.
Other than,
I did like the picture you had up the other day with like 10 bass guitars around your neck.
There was 5 Fender P bass.
I would have loved if you just fell backwards and they crushed you.
That's nice.
Not to death, just crushed you and you had to call for help.
That's really nice. No, I think that there's a lot of similarities between. I've often found between jiu-jitsu and combat sports and music, and one of them is, you hear that saying a lot, that iron sharpens iron. You need to be with people in the gym that are going to push you. The same thing. What you want to be with people that are going to push you creatively. I mean, you don't want to be so far out of your element that's like, man, I shouldn't be here. But you should definitely
at least have your feet in the pool.
You should have the type of thing of, man, these guys are going to make me work.
You
these
may
guys
have
are
not
going to
taken
challenge
that
me.
test with the lifeguard to swim in the deep end yet, but you're in the pool.
You said Martin's the star?
Marty. You never met Martin.
Not Martin.
Not Martin.
No, not friend Martin.
Friend Martin doesn't play any instruments except the organ.
Yeah, no.
Skin flute.
He called me,
rusty trombone.
Yeah, he called me the next day. He's like, I said some stuff on the show I probably shouldn't have said. And I'm like, yeah, like what? He's like, well, probably shouldn't have said that I sacrificed an animal in a pagan ritual.
That got a little bit weird for a second.
I'm like, yeah, that got a little weird, brother.
But he did eat it. He did
He
eat
did eat the animal, so that's
He's
okay.
a good dude. I still think it's.
I think he's a good dude.
I still think it's absolutely hilarious how you called him on stage on the live show and go, "Yeah, so you and your wife are swingers." He's like, "Whoa, wait a minute! You said you weren't going to shoot."
I don't know what it is, but
if I came with my hands up,
for some reason I can coax information out of him.
you'll just say whatever.
That wasn't coaxing. That was.
You're like, "Yeah,
calling
so
him
I
out.
want to get my wife to bang
And
bullet."
yeah,
Like,
I don't think
"Whoa,
I don't think I'm coaxing information. It's there, and he just wants to let it out.
Nah,
I'm
he's
just
a good
asking
dude.
the right questions.
He's a good dude.
But Marty's a good dude. We're gonna have him again on soon. We got to have Nick again on soon. One of the
We
things.
still got one more fight.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to know it?
He
Yeah,
was,
I would love
starting
to.
to rev up. He was
I was
starting to
revving
do
up
the-
for the
doing
finish.
rev up
I was
goodbye.
revving up for the finish.
Max Holloway, Jose Aldo.
Look, Jose Aldo couldn't do anything to him when he had a full training camp. What is
Yeah.
Jose Aldo going to... And look, you know,
He's
Look,
done.
Conor McGregor starched him in 14 seconds. But look, anybody can get caught early on in a fight. Max Holloway...
He's a smart fighter.
But no, Max Holloway beat his ass. And that was with a full training camp.
But is this Max's first title defense?
Yeah.
And Jose has the interim?
No.
Right.
No, he lost to Max Holloway's last fight.
Oh, okay. So this is a rematch from the last fight?
Yep.
Yeah, because
Why is
somebody
Jose
got...
getting a rematch right
because
away?
somebody got injured and they needed a last-minute replacement.
Oh, we can't blame Jose
you know
for
what?
jumping in.
Which might be a good fight for him. Though.
But Jose was one of those dudes who was he was very Fedor-ish, like
No.
super scary, like everybody fucking worried
He had
about
that
him.
air about him.
Had an air about him, and once he got figured out, like dudes are not scared of him, and he does not.
Same thing with Gina Carano. Same thing with Fedor. Once they
Same
become
with Belfort.
humanized, Belfort. Look, in a sense, Aldo has nothing to lose because he already lost to the guy. He's a late replacement. He's already been there, done it all. He's a former WEC world champion. He's a former UFC world champion. Defended his title multiple times. Much respect for Jose Aldo. Lifted himself out of the gutter by fighting. Made a life and a career for himself and his family. Rose up out of poverty. He's a great success story. His movie's really weird though on Netflix.
Jose Aldo.
Yeah, he has it's not even like a documentary. It's like a movie with actors. It's weird as shit.
Oh, we need to watch that.
It's bad. But you know, if Jose Aldo somehow wins this fight, it's got to be considered an upset. You know,
Yeah, I
Oh,
would
absolutely.
think so. Yeah,
Absolutely.
but
The guy beat him.
it would
show.
solidify himself as
Faux
probably.
show.
Oh, show.
If Jose Aldo wins his fight, I think, in my mind, he eclipses Anderson Silva as the best fighter that Brazil's produced in the past 25 years.
Whoa, whoa,
Probably the best fighter that, in terms of career, what it means, probably since Royce Gracie.
I would agree with that. I don't
Because
see him beating Max though.
crazier things have fucking happened. I mean, Matt Serra made fucking GSP tap the strikes.
Yeah,
and
but
then
then
look what happened with the second fight.
That
Yeah,
was
but
that was the most
Unless
brutal,
that's the way Jose comes
that
out.
was the most
Jose.
brutal beating I've ever seen.
I mean, that was like
Yeah.
a dad just
That was-
beating his
that was- I'm
girlfriend's
not-
That was a
dad.
guy proving a point.
That was I'm not
Yeah.
finishing you right now. I am going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You're
Matt
just
Serra's
gonna
a guy that's
quit
got that
because I hurt
strength,
you.
though. He was the perfect opponent at the perfect time. It was perfect for him. Has there been any updates on Matt Hughes? I saw a video of him rolling with
No.
somebody.
Todd will fact check you real quick.
Fact
though.
check it real quick. Like, how's he doing?
Because I'm pretty sure there's been updates.
There's got no.
Last
I
time-
saw last thing I saw he was grappling a little bit.
Yeah, and that's
in the hospital.
awesome.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. You know?
Yeah.
Good for him, man. He's a good dude.
Great for him.
I think it's great for him.
I think it's great for him too. But here's the thing.
Would you say he's the greatest welterweight champion
I
of all
would
time?
not say that in a second. I would say GSP was.
I would argue. I'd say Matt Hughes.
I will punch your teeth.
I would
out
say
of your
Matt
mouth.
Hughes because of the era that he grew up in the fact that there were fighters, not athletes. I would say in the fact that how he finished his fights. He finished a majority of his fights.
Yeah, but I would actually say during that time he was more of an athlete
No,
Yeah.
than a fighter.
no,
Yeah.
no,
I think the
No.
athletic part was
no.
there.
You're missing my point.
Who
When
are
I-
his big wins against? Frank
Well, first of all,
Trigg?
hold on. First of all,
Twice, right?
his first title defense was against Hayato Mahasakurai,
Watch
who
your
was
mouth.
the consensus
Get Todd to say that one.
greatest 170-pound
Masakurai.
fighter in the world. Like, he shouldn't even have been in the ring with him. They brought him in to the UFC. His first fight was a title fight, and it was like Matt Hughes is a sacrificial lamb to the slaughter.
So Hughes won a title on his first fight?
No. Matt Hughes won his initial title when he power bombed Carlos Newton as he was passing out from a triangle choke, and they woke him up, and he said, "What happened?" And he said, "You won." He's like, "What?"
But if you look at the resume of guys he's
But
beaten
what I mean
versus
is-
GSP's resume,
I'm talking
not
about
even close.
the level of competition. He fought the best guys they put in front of him at the time, but I'm talking about the fact that this is a guy. When I say fighters versus athletes, I mean fighters, like, they weren't making the money. They were fighting for the love of it, but also he had that killer instinct. This is a guy that got kicked in the nuts, got dropped with a punch, was in a rear naked choke, got out of it, picked the dude up, ran. When he ran across, I'm getting goosebumps now.
I always love when he
when
ran.
he ran, I'm getting goosebumps. When he picked Trig up and ran across the fucking cage and slammed him, that's an iconic fucking moment.
But it
And
wasn't
did you see? Hold on. Did you see the video? There's a video of Frank Trigg, Matt Hughes, and BJ Penn all just kind of like we're doing right now, just shooting the shit going, and they're laughing and making jokes. And he's like, he's like, I thought I had you. And he's like, you kicked me in the balls. He's like, I wanted the belt. And he's like, yeah. He's like, you had me in that choke twice. And BJ's like, that's day one shit, brother. Like, I could have taught you that. And Frank's like, fuck, man, I was too busy looking good.
It wasn't the picking him up and running across. It was picking him up and taking him to his side where his coach
was. But to see those three guys just shooting the shit was like, I don't know why, but it made
you goosebumps.
No, but it just is like these are guys that went to war against each other, with each other, and they're
Frank Trigg was never that good.
He was like a fucking Olympic level athlete. He's
He
an
had the
Olympic level
worst-
wrestler.
Was he in the Olympics?
Stop it, dude. Come
Was
on.
he in the Olympics?
Stop
Worst
it.
nickname. Worst nickname.
Twinkle Toes?
You can't say a guy's an Olympic level athlete if he wasn't in the Olympics.
I think he was an alternate. But
Second.
look, when you get to that level, the difference of being on the team and an alternate is like,
Well, and the fact that you're the guy training the guy who's
Will you watch the UFC 218
look,
this weekend?
Kurt Angle was an alternate. He walked onto the team because someone got hurt, and he won the gold medal with a broken freaking neck.
Will you watch UFC 218
Answer the
this
question,
weekend?
Bullet.
With the three eyes.
Will you watch this weekend?
Kurt Angle made a triumphant return to the WWE ring this past couple weeks ago at the Survivor Series.
Yes, you will watch, or no, you will not watch UFC 218.
I was awesome seeing him come down to the ring with the singlet. You know what I mean?
You know what's awesome? Todd with his speech problem, not being able to say stuff.
Is this a pay-per-view show?
It is a pay-per-view.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pay for it.
Get the
but
fuck
I
outta
will
here.
watch it somehow. Wink, wink.
not if Verizon's involved. Net neutrality's involved.
So, if you like our show, what do they need to do, Bullet?
Send me inappropriate pictures to
How about sharing the show?
KCut215 at Twitter.
I'm
Your
also
boy.
I'm also Dynamo Kid.
Have
with
you
two
been on
Ds.
Twitter at all lately?
Occasionally we'll twit.
You want to see a picture here?
No.
I'm going to show you
So
a picture.
I'm at Dynamo Kid with two Ds on Instagram and Twitter. You can find us also at Coming At You Podcast on Instagram. Good Lord. If you like the show, share the show. We're also going to be Extreme Cage Combat on February 3rd.
You're looking good, Helen.
If you love comedy, head out to Philly Comedy Club. You
Russ,
can see our boy
we gotta
Russ.
get Russ back on
We
here.
got to get Russ.
And
Russ
what about
is a great
Nick?
dude.
What, Nick's too good for school?
Well, hold on. I was going to go on to that in a second. No, Nick's not too cool for school. He's going to come back in.
When?
Soon.
When's the last time you talked to him?
I don't know, but I'm going to send him a message. We're going to do.
we're going to hit him up right now.
I think we're going to do a Christmas Pollyanna thing with a bunch of people to our show. We'll get Amanda in. We'll get Diana in. We'll get Carolina in. We'll get Martin in.
Martin,
Nick
Fred
Grinups. We'll get Russ Gooten in. Maybe our buddy from Finisher Fitness. We'll get a bunch of people in. But if you like the show, please share the show. Let other people know how you feel about the show. And try to be a little enthusiastic about it if you can.
Oh, hold on. And don't forget that I will be live streaming on Facebook Live during Chris's Black Belt Beatdown.
Actually, there's no cameras allowed.
Yeah, that's all right. It doesn't matter to me. I'm an American.
Oh, shit.